Hi guys, how you doing? I'm going to try to be. Everyone is sleeping, right? So I'm going to try to be quiet, but at the same time, hopefully, you're going to be able to hear me. Um, all right. Um, so yeah. So today I'm going to try to. I'm going to show you, something that solves the fundamental problem that we have in AI agent ecosystem, right? How do agents find each other, right? And I know that in the past, in the previous recording, we try to show that to demonstrate that with a cloud desktop, right? As an example, combining multiple agents. Um, but I just wanted to set the stage here and show you something extra, right? So it's not going to be only about the DNS-AID, but we are trying to expand its capabilities, right? So right now, if you want your AI assistant to use booking agent, what we used the last time, usually, you hard code the URL, right? And if the agent goes down or a better one launches, right? You have to manually update your code. And if you want to compare multiple agents, with the same capabilities, you are on your own, right? So it's a lot of kind of manual testing each one of them, hoping they are reliable. So DNS-AID toolkit that we built, right, changes that completely. Of course, you know that we are using the DNS, to publish and discover agents and whatnot. But what we also built is, what I built is the DNS-AID SDK, right? Um, um, so we have actually built a community telemetry system that tracks how well each agent actually performs in the real world. So instead of hard coding the URL and guessing which agent is the best, orchestrator can now dynamically discover agents and make data-driven selection decision. And that's what this demo is all about, right? So the telemetry system that we have. So the problem with the agent selection, right? So let's say you've discovered three booking agents, right? How do you pick the right one? You could pick the cheapest one, right? But what if it's slow or unreliable, right? You could pick the one with the fanciest marketing, right? But that tells you nothing about the actual performance. What you really want is a real world data, right? How often does this agent succeed? How fast does it respond? How others or how do other users rate it? That's exactly what our telemetry system provides, right? So every time anyone, right, uses the DNS-AID SDK to invoke an agent, we capture the detailed metrics and push them to the central API. Over time, this builds up a community-wide reliability database. So when you need to select an agent, you're not guessing. You are using aggregated data from everyone who's ever used that agent, right? And I'm going to just, talk a little bit about how that telemetry flow works, right? So when you call the client.invoke function, right, the SDK automatically wraps that call and captures the detailed metrics. I'm talking about the latency, success and failure status, response size, even cost information if the agent provides it, right? This happens transparently, so you don't need to write, any extra code because you're already using the DNS-AID, right, to publish to publish your agents, right, as a developer, right? And these metrics are, packed into the invocation signal, and we push that to our central API using the background thread, right? So the key design decision here is a fire and forget. So we push that push actually happens. So it never slows down your actual agent call. If the push fails for any reason, we log that and we move on. So your application never gets blocked, waiting for telemetry. On the server side, we try to aggregate these signals across all users. So when the booking agent has been invoked, 10,000 times by different user, we have, 10,000 data points about reliability, latency, distribution, error patterns, right? So it's kind of like, I think it's kind of really incredible, valuable informations, and we try to package that in the form of composite score, right? Um, So I'm just going to try to demonstrate it here. And then obviously, I'm going to share, let me make this a little bit bigger here. So, I'm going to share, everything is actually in the GitHub repo. So you can read uh, uh, about that, what's happening in the back end and how we do the calculations and how we do the score and that kind of a stuff. Right. But, and then of course here at the bottom, you have options, how to do the integration pattern. So what we used in the past, in the previous video is actually that we've been using MCP, interface to communicate and utilize the DNS-AID Toolkit. But now with the LangGraph, we're gonna use, because obviously direct access, which means like the Python library. So the only thing that you need to do is just to install the package. So you can see here the Python 2 is like a direct Python import, and you're going to be able to see, only couple of commands in your code, and you're good to go, right? So what I'm trying to show you here, like I'm using the LangSmith, right? Just like um, a really good UI to see what's happening with each invocation, right? So let me try here. I'm gonna run a new thread here, right? So you're gonna see here that we're gonna have a discover, fetch cost. We're gonna do the ranking, and then selection, and then invoke. So what we are trying to do, we potentially we're gonna have multiple booking agents, right? So let's try to find the right one. We're gonna try here to utilize high velocity networking domain where I have the agents. We're going to say capability is going to be travel, origin is going to be SFO, going to JFK, and the date is going to be 26. Let's do 0315. All right, and we're gonna submit. Right now, you're gonna be able to see at each level, and I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna show you, all the calls that are happening at each phase, right? So you're gonna be able to see that, utilizing the DNS SDK, right? So you're gonna be able to see here that, we discovered two agents with these capabilities, booking agent, and then we have, booking premium agent, right? Now, you're going to try to fetch the cost, right? The cost is going to be, like service fee. For the premium is going to be $45, right? And then service fee for the regular one is going to be, 15. But that's not going to be deciding factor, only cost, right? What we want to do, right? And then here you're gonna see the ranking that we are using the booking agent. The reason why the selection happened is the score, right? So it's a combination of the cost, of course, but it's also a combination of our telemetry, right? And then you're going to be able to see, we selected the booking agent, not the premium one. And you're going to be able to see here that we got like 3 flights found for this date, right? So if you click on flights, the first flight is going to be, from SFO to JFK using United, and this is like the price, the seat available, and that kind of stuff, right? So you can see here with LangChain, couple of commands, right? Just, you can obviously use that or with the MCP server or just like a direct Python package. Actually, we have under the documentation here, we have integration file where we are talking about, how you get the DNS-AID Toolkit and DNS-AID SDK integrated into your frameworks, right? So you can see here for the LangChain if you want to use that with the MCP as well, right? So hopefully this gives you a little bit more information what we are trying to do. It's not just about publishing and discovering the agents, what we demonstrate here as well, but it's also building services on top of that, right? So yeah, so hopefully let me make this a little bit. So hopefully this helps you guys out. This is not official recording, but I just wanted to do like a quick recording. So um, So you guys can just review it and see if you have any questions. All right, guys. Thanks a lot.